Go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to present our business plan to you, information technology for poor children of the world. We're happy that all of you could come out and join us today. Hopefully you hear some valuable information, some information you can digest, take home, and hopefully become a donor of our organization. Myself, along with my colleagues, we're all current MBA students, and we took on this project to empower the youth in West Africa. So sit back, enjoy the presentation, and we look forward to entertaining any of your questions at the end. Thank you.
We all know computers have changed the world, and we need to make sure that our children have access to computers, have the skill to compete in the new global economy. Every single child deserves the opportunity to succeed in the 21st century. Unfortunately, in many places around the world, many children are extremely left behind by lack of access to technology. What market or industry are we in? A corporation that conducts business for the benefit of the general public without shareholders and without a profit motive. What problem are we solving for customers? Making the world a better place, helping our children solve their hardest, most pressing problem, children technology education. Why will we succeed? We will have established a clear goal alignment from the top down, from executive to frontline employee. Drive higher level of global execution by creating a consistent and meaningful feedback loop between manager and employees. Increase employee engagement and retention through pay for performance culture that reward talent appropriately. Quickly fill talent gap from within, reducing the costs and loss of productivity associated with recruiting. Now, Sahel will come and talk about the problem.
Thank you, Laurie. The problems. Let's talk about some of the problems that we may face when we establish this organization. The first one will come from compelling problems to be solved. IT for Poor Children of Africa will work hard to generate public and private funds to support efforts by libraries and community centers. I would say community centers, I will focus more on the community centers because that will be the main focus, especially when you talk about African communities, because they do live in communities and they are jointly together to include technology over there and to focus especially on the children of our Western Africa unit. Market penetration, this will be the key issue that we will have to face. Market penetration will be like how we are going to get involved in those communities and how we are going to stand up and have our feet established and make them feel like they are welcome to our different centers that we are going to establish in there. The communications to donors. We will have to work hard on getting our donors to understand and to see how we are progressing and what different communication tools that we will use to be able to communicate further with them. Let's see some solutions that we have seen. The first and the very basic one will be to describe our business to the communities over there. The goal of our non-profit organization, IT for Poor Children of the World, is to help the children of the nations of West Africa to have access to computers at their schools and their community centers if for some reason they are unable to join any school, public or government, either way. Market penetration, as I described earlier, this is the very important tool when we are establishing a brand new organization. So we will start by gaining their trust. We will start from one community at a time. So if we can gain trust of any one community in a particular region, that will establish some proof that we can work hard and we can provide the services that they are looking for in the IT field. In this way, what we're going to do is we will have those guys or the kids and their parents who are going to get our resources and our services to go ahead and talk to the other communities and make sure that those communities understand and learn what we are providing to one community and how we are going to go and help the other communities in the same way or even better, if not worse. Now, developing interactive website for communication, this will be something that we will use for our donors. We will provide them all different tools, including our basic income statements that will show them exactly where we are spending all of our money and how the money is coming to our organization and what exactly is being spent on the children. And we will even show them how much money we are spending on our administrative costs. So we are not just spending like more than maximum 10 to 20% on that, and the rest is going towards the children that need help. Companion benefits. IT for Poor Children of Africa vision is to be a strategic leadership organization influencing social transformation of African communities through the use of technology. We strive to contribute to a just, equitable, and prosperous West African society. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the opportunities and market that we will be having over there in Africa. The market details will start from, as we already described, that we are a non-profit organization. So our goal will be just to help the poor kids and poor people that need help and that cannot afford to pay for the IT education especially. Our target to collect donations will be companies and well-off individuals, and target to whom those donations will go to the poor kids. Also, we will try to get some donations from the US government, as we know that US government will provide quite a bit of funding for all those African communities that need some help. Minimum budget and maximum budget that we are looking at, we will spend not more than 20% on our administrative costs, and the rest, as I said, will go towards our organization to help the kids. So the minimum budget for first year, we are looking at around 45,000, and then we will increase it year by year. I would think we will go towards maybe like 1 billion in like 3 years. Let's talk about some of our how much project revenue we will earn in the 2 years. Cash is king, as we all know, so we would definitely like to get some funding coming inside the organization that for the services that we are providing. So we will try to charge a smaller fee to the communities, community centers, or to the government of those communities that are getting help from us. But we are not going to charge any money to our kids that we are providing the services to. All right, let's go ahead and have our other colleague Jeff, and he's going to come here and talk about some of the competitive landscapes. Thank you.
Thanks, Sid. Just talking a little bit about competitive landscape. In our industry, Develop Africa and Africa Bags is two of the organizations that we felt that we would be comparable with and who may pose as a typical threat. Develop Africa is more of a human resource type organization. They provide leadership services and they work on human capital. So their niche in the market is helping young individuals in West Africa be more aware of the economy around them and ways they can better themselves to better position themselves within the economy. Alternatives that exist, economic opportunities and human resource development. Africa Bags, that's more of a economic type organization. They're more on charity. What they do is they have a community in West Africa that they simply make shopping bags out of cloth, handmade bags, and their niche is to reduce pollution by not offering plastic bags, but to take these handmade bags, and they sell them in the U.S., and the proceeds they receive from it, they use that as their organization's mission. How the individuals of West Africa are dealing with this now is they have to go to these cyber cafes. Cyber cafes are basically computer labs, but they are charged on a 30-minute basis, depending on their usage. And what we offer, you know, technology free of cost. That's our competitive edge. That's how we're different from competitors. Also, not only will this help with the leadership and development of these kids in West Africa, it can also develop them into leaders to close that poverty gap. How will the customer know that we're better? For our donors, we'll go through YouTube, use social media to go ahead and market our products and services. Moving on to the competitive advantages, furthermore, we have a very unique team. All of our management team are MBA graduates, soon-to-be graduates, if not. And we have diverse backgrounds and diverse expertise. Our company can help shed a positive light on an organization that donates to our cause as well. A lot of major organizations, they take their social responsibility very seriously, so that may be an incentive for donors to give to us. The financial roadmap, over the next 2 years, we would like to have an income or operating income of $45,000. You know, we would like donations anywhere from $50 to $5,000. We encourage more, but that's more of the market that we're looking for. And if we can get 9 donors to donate $5,000, then boom, we've already hit our target to operate. 25% of those will be allocated to expenses. That's approximately $12,000. How we'll make our money, we'll go through grants and government organizations to apply for those grants. We'll also seek donors and athletes to go ahead and donate to the cause. When we complete hiring employees, once we have our budgets established and we have all of our funding in place, we'll then go ahead and hire volunteers and part-time workers accordingly. Moving on, we're going to have Octave come up. He's going to talk a little bit more in detail about the management team. Octave.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As my teammate already present what you have here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about how many people this company will need just to start with. Here we have 4 people. We will have 1 CEO, 1 CFO, 1 CIO, and a marketing director. So what are our relevant accomplishments? Actually, opening this business itself is already an accomplishment because we are a non-profit organization, meaning that we're not aimed to make money. We are aimed for social recognition, and that's one of the accomplishments, mental accomplishments we already have. But if I have to go ahead and light a few of them, here we have a team member that have a skill, on organizational skill, a management skill, a budget skill. Like my teammate already said, this is a team of people that come in with an MBA or soon to be graduate. I think a month from now we will all have MBAs. So let's move to that was the academic credential of the team member. Now, how many employees do we need to hire? At this point, we can't really say it, but we know that we will have no more than 10 employees to start with. What milestone have we achieved so far? Well, like I just said, the business plan itself is being completed. The team is completed. Leasing an office, is like to set up an office, will be very soon. We're talking about it now, and we will go ahead and sign the lease. The website will be designed by myself, and the card will come. That will also be done very soon. Now, do we have a first customer? At this time, we're talking to people, we're talking to, where we want to go and open the business in West Africa. So we don't really have the customer yet, but they are in line. Everybody loves free, I guess. So, Where do we plan to go from here? What are our next steps? That's the very important question. How will we get there? From here, the next thing to do is to set up in the home office, create a website, get a first client, raise funds, and make the first donation. Now, to summarize the whole thing, let's start with the 3 key points here. What is our business? This business is an organization that will influence the social transformation of African communities. So what problem do we solve? Like my first colleague, Jeff, said, it's really hard for some African kids to have access to technology. At this point in the 21st century, it's kind of hard for us to, that's one of the reasons why that we got this organization coming around. So how do we solve that problem? We generate a public and private fund to support effort by libraries and community centers to improve technology program focused especially on children of West Africa. Now, who cares? I'm pretty much sure that the whole world cares, because people want children to be successful and especially drawn out of poverty. Now, if we go ahead and ask our audience to make a donation, people will back it. The speech is good, but what kind of donation are you expecting us to make? Well, I mean, businesses can make from $15 to $5,000. We'll take it. How much money do we plan to raise? Why should they donate to the business? Because the cause is great. And I'm sure many people agree with that. Now, will they receive anything in return? Yeah, I would say yes. Probably not monetarily, but in the term of self-satisfaction, of being able to help millions of people, millions of children, help them come out of poverty to become productive citizens of the world. I think that's very satisfying. And not only that, the donation that they will give also will be a tax deductible with the 501c3. So yes, it can also be monetary. So at this point, I would just say thank you to everybody that listened, and be our donors, and we will appreciate your contribution. Thank you.